I started way back in the Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird era and simulated all the way up to 2021. Welcome to the video. Yes, I started at the beginning of my NBA eras and caught all the way up to nearly current day. Let's see who the best players in the league are, and we're just going to look at the league history and see what's happened in the last 40 or so years. If you want to see more videos on MyNBA Eras this year over on NBA 2K23, make sure you subscribe and like up because we are putting out tons of cool videos this year. So first off, in 2021, a lot of the teams, none of them are anything close to what they were in 2021. I mean, we have simulated 40 years. It's almost impossible for it to be similar. You can see right off the jump, the best player on the Philadelphia 76ers is Frank the Tank Ntilikina. I think they're just, redoing the process. On the Bucks, you have a nice little duo of Trae Young and Jimmy Butler, and RJ Barrett's here, so this could be a big three in a couple of years. The Wizards, which is kind of a dynasty, and you'll see what I mean when I show you the rest of the league history, but JJ Redick and Chris Paul are teammates, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know why JJ Redick is an 87 overall at 37. He somehow is better than Chris Paul. I think this is the main reason why I love 2K and simulations and stuff like that, because who would have thought JJ Redick would have been an 8th pick in 2006 and go on to average 25 points, 27. I mean, he's nuts. He had a crazy career so far. Next, you have the Chicago Bulls with Steph Curry and Brandon Ingram. Steph Curry, by the way, I will be seeing in my nightmares because throughout the simulation, he pretty much terrorized the league for like 5 or so years. Over on the Cavaliers, they suck. They got some random automated guy, and then they got Tyrese Haliburton, and that's it. Next, you have the Boston Celtics led by Mike Conley, Mitchell Robinson, and Jalen Brunson. Kevin Love is here as well. This Clippers team is actually really cool. You have James Harden and Jokic, but because of NBA 2K23 not having downloadable rosters for every single year yet, I just used whatever their 2021 or 2006, 2004. I used the pre-made NBA 2K draft classes, but in those, they also have automated generated players, and for some reason, Kobe Bryant Jr. is the thing. And the scariest part about it is Kobe Bryant Jr. actually looks a lot like Kobe if Kobe had hair. It's actually really scary. Eric Bledsoe's here, and Stacey Augmon Jr. is also here. The Hawks have Devin Booker, Dennis Smith Jr., and Bol Bol. What a crazy big three. Somehow in this universe, Donovan Mitchell is cursed with being on the Utah Jazz as well. Giannis and DeAndre Ayton have a nice little duo going on in Sacramento. Why did I say Sacramento? So weird right there. I have no clue. The Knicks have Joel Embiid and LaMelo Ball and Klay Thompson, so this team's pretty cool. The Lakers get Anthony Davis in this universe as well. Rudy Gobert is there and DeJounte Murray. They even have the Bald Eagle, so I say that's a pretty solid team. The Dallas Mavericks have Kevin Durant and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Pretty solid duo over there in Dallas, and the Brooklyn Nets are led by Andre Drummond and Ja Morant and Darius Garland. The Denver Nuggets must be cursed because their two best players are DeAndre Jordan and Clint Capella. The Pacers have Jaylen Brown and old man Carmelo Anthony. The Detroit Pistons have the triple-double machine in Russell Westbrook. They also have Gordon. Yep, good old Gordon Hayward. What a guy. The Rockets are absolutely trash as Zion is like in his second year. Nerlens Noel is his second best teammate. I know the overalls don't show, but I think we can all agree we'd rather have a 77 overall Damian Lillard than an 83 overall Nerlens Noel. Luka, De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal, nice little trio over in San Antonio. Greg Popovich, if he's still coaching in this universe, he must be so happy. Jason Tatum and Michael Porter Jr., two lengthy dudes who can shoot over on the same team in Phoenix. You have a pretty good OKC team over here with D'Angelo Russell, Hassan Whiteside, and not old man DeMar DeRozan, but he's 32 and he fell off really quickly. So Portland Trailblazers are being led by Lance Stevenson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jamal Murray, and Andrew Wiggins. This team, great, amazing. Golden State Warriors have a nice little duo of Lonzo Ball and Kristaps Porzingis. The Miami Heat have Miles Turner and Kemba Walker, Jonathan Isaac, which, by the way, these guys are expansion teams, so the order gets a little funky. This Pelicans team might be my favorite team because they have Kat, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric, and Peyton Pritchard. The Orlando Magic gave Bargnani a $54 million contract over 2 years, so I don't think I gotta explain anything else about this franchise. Derrick Rose never got hurt, DeMarcus Cousins never got hurt, Tyler Hero just came into the league, and Jared Sullinger never got fat-shamed out of the NBA, so shout out to the Timberwolves. Kawhi Leonard has spent most of his career over in Toronto in this simulation, and hey, Tyreek Evans, he didn't get kicked out of the league for drugs. Oh, Brandon Jennings, this team's a lot of fun. Memphis Grizzlies got Blake Griffin and Paul George. I don't know in what universe Blake Griffin's a better player than Paul George, but apparently this universe. The Charlotte Hornets have Kyrie Irving, and that's pretty much it. Those are all the current day rosters, and now we are gonna go jump into the history of this crazy league, because let me tell you, there's some things that happen that I want to go over that are nuts. The first thing we're gonna go over is the MVPs of the league. It started off with Larry Bird, then Magic Johnson won 3 straight, then Larry Bird, and then Michael Jordan, his 4th year in the league, he won MVP. He was actually drafted to the Washington Bullets. In real life, Michael Jordan didn't didn't play for Washington until he was almost 40, so hey, he goes like 30 years earlier here in this league. From 1990 to 1992, Magic Johnson won 2 MVPs, making that a total of 5 MVPs throughout this simulation. And by the way, in 1990, he actually teamed up with Larry Bird. I'll throw the screenshot on the screen right now, but yeah, I was scrolling through and I noticed, hey, Larry Bird and Magic, why are they on the same? I don't know. Larry Bird got sick of fighting. He just wanted to play for the Lakers. In 93, Sean Kemp wins MVP, which is a little surprising. He won that over in New York. And then Michael Jordan went down to Orlando. Back-to-back years, MVP was Michael Jordan over there for Orlando. And since Orlando had MJ and they were pretty good, they weren't bad, so they could not draft Shaq. And I'm going to say it right now, I think Shaq might have been the GOAT in this simulation. I think if we could decide who the best player of all time in the simulation was anyone, it would have been Shaq, because first, he won 3 straight MVPs. In 1999, the most forgettable part of Team USA, yeah, he won MVP. We're going to skip past that because Shaq then won 3 straight MVPs again. His reign of terror would end in 2003 as his teammate in real life actually won MVP, Kobe Bryant, for the Lakers. I don't remember if I screenshotted it because I wasn't going to sit there and clip different parts of every single simulation. It was like a 40-year simulation, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning when I was doing this, but I believe this season Kobe averaged like 38 and 9, so it was monster season. From 2004 to 2006, the Cleveland Cavaliers would have a good player on their team not named LeBron, as Gilbert Arenas won 3 straight MVPs. He's still overpowered in simulation. Shockingly, in 2007 and 2008, Ginobili won MVP, and he actually did it with 2 different teams back-to-back years. I've never seen him do good in simulation, so that's a breath of fresh air. Gilbert Arenas would win MVP in 2009 with the Milwaukee Bucks, and then Carmelo Anthony over on the 76ers would win it in 2010. Now, 2 things I mentioned earlier in the video are coming back to you now, as LeBron James, the Washington Wizards, he won MVP, and then the Miami Heat had a total of 5 straight MVPs between 2 different players, and you can see those 2 players, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, even in this universe, they were teammates, and they were teammates for like 6 or 7 seasons, so that was terrifying. In 2017, Chris Paul won MVP, and in 2011, LeBron James won MVP. They were both Wizards. They were actually teammates. They stayed together for like most of LeBron's career, which, by the way, 2K, please fix LeBron. He's garbage in 2K. I don't know why he does so bad in simulation, but the dude retired like 6 years too early and only averaged like 18 points his last 3 seasons. The next 4 years were dominated by point guard. Just like real life, Russell Westbrook won MVP over for OKC, and then the following year is Kyrie, followed up by another MVP by Russell Westbrook, and a little bit of a shocker, but DeJounte Murray won MVP, which is kind of crazy. Rookie of the Year, I'm going to scroll through. I don't find it too super important because most of these guys you would expect to win Rookie of the Year, and none of them had any crazy monster Rookie of the Year seasons. They were all pretty tame, pretty normal. Like, no one's averaging 70 points. If I had to choose the most random Rookie of the Year, it probably would have gone to Dennis Smith Jr. because I didn't expect him to be good. Sixth Man of the Year has been won by a lot of guards in this simulation, I won't lie, and then sometimes it was a bunch of auto-generated people who aren't real players, and Ricky Green Jr. won it 3 straight times. Much like Kobe Bryant Jr., Ricky Green Jr. is not a real human being either, but he got put into the league, and he actually almost won MVP. I think he was like 2nd or 3rd one year, and he won 3 straight Sixth Man of the Years. It was kind of cool. His Ruby card, really good in my team. I don't know if that matters. Tracy McGrady, he also won Sixth Man of the Year. He wasn't that great in the simulation, I won't lie. Defensive Player of the Year kind of went to the same culprits it does in any 2K simulation. Now, Dwight Howard stayed with the Rockets his entire career. KG was a defensive monster in the simulation, as usual, just like real life. He won 4 straight Defensive Players of the Year with 2 different teams. Shaq obviously won a couple Defensive Player of the Years. Like, when I say couple, he won 8. I believe Shaq had the most Defensive Player of the Years and most MVPs in this simulation. Hakeem came really close with the defensive side, but Shaq was just a whole different animal in this. Most Improved Player was a mixed bag. I'll scroll through it. Seti Osman is the most recent, like, most improved winner, which is really strange because I've never seen him do good. Muhammad Abdul-Rauf, he had a really good career actually in this, and Sleepy Floyd was the very first most improved player. You will also see Sam Bowie because, yeah, I put him in the league. It was kind of cool. Shout out to Sam Bowie. I'm not going to talk about every single All-NBA first team, so I'm going to very quickly scroll through absolutely all of it, every single one that's happened. You can slow down the video, pause the video, do whatever you want to do with the video, except weird stuff, because I'm not stopping it, and we're already at the 60s. Wow, so cool. I'm not going to go over the All-NBA teams. I don't think that matters. Now, I wouldn't usually show Coach of the Year, but Scottie Pippen won it 3 times, which is really cool. I've never seen a player coach actually do very good in simulation, because when players retire, they can have a chance at becoming a coach. It's very rare that they become head coaches. Sometimes they're like 3-point specialist coaches or big man coaches. I haven't seen many head coaches besides Scottie Pippen. Moving on to former champions, the first 2 championships were won by the Boston Celtics and Larry Bird. Following that was Clyde Drexler and the Portland Trailblazers. Sam Bowie was also on that team, so I thought that was a really fun championship squad. Magic Johnson came really close to winning 4 straight titles. He won it in 87, but then the Dallas Mavericks actually swept the 76ers to win a title. Mark Aguirre would go ahead and win your finals MVP, which is cool to see the young Dallas Mavericks or the early day Dallas Mavericks, 1980s Dallas Mavericks win a title. I haven't seen that in a long time. But don't worry, the 6-time MVP Magic Johnson did not care too much, because then he would go ahead and win 2 back-to-back titles. He would make it back to the finals for 2 more years, but unfortunately he did lose to the New York Knicks, and Kevin Johnson was their finals MVP. He had a really, really good playoff run those 2 years. He averaged something like 19 and 11, and that was enough for him to win finals MVP. In 1993, Hakeem Olajuwon wins an NBA championship over for the Philadelphia 76ers, which, if you haven't noticed, that means pretty much all the good players in the draft class not named Michael Jordan won a title before MJ. New York Knicks, they sweep the Sonics in 94. Sean Kemp sweeps the team that he actually played for in another universe. And then in 95, the Clippers, the Clippers, they won a championship. Alonzo Mourning was their finals MVP, and you know, big men dominated the league for a long time in this simulation. As you can tell, in 96, the Dallas Mavericks win in 5 over the Celtics, with Patrick Ewing being finals MVP. And then I believe Michael Jordan would make it to the finals. I think he was still on the Washington Bullets at this point, and he lost in 7 to Rick Smits. Imagine losing the finals and saying that Rick Smits was finals MVP. I would cry, I would throw up. But hey, that one dude from Fault in Our Stars would be happy. David Robinson would win for the Orlando Magic there, beating the Warriors in 6. In 1999, the Philadelphia 76ers would sweep the Rockets, and Derek McKee would be your finals MVP, which he is a real person. He's not auto-generated. It's just shocking that he won finals MVP. Not as shocking as Isaiah Ryder winning it in 2001. David Robinson's there. He makes Toronto proud. Canada goes crazy. Drake was probably still an infant at this point. Actually, Drake is like 30, so he probably would have been 10. He would have been celebrating in math class about this title. But next year, he would try to make headbands cool and hang out with Isaiah Ryder. So I don't know. They won in 6. And then Shaq. Yeah, Shaq. Shaq won a lot of MVPs, had a lot of good seasons, but he didn't win many titles, as this is his first title in 2002, which, yes, is around the same time he won one in real life, but he did not continue to three-peat or win a bunch of championships, but he did bring Pistons one, so. The following year, the Sacramento Kings would beat the Orlando Magic in 5, and this Kings team actually had Paul Pierce, who won finals MVP, but they also had KG, which is pretty cool. 2/3 of that Celtics Big Three winning a title about 5 years early. It's something I love to see as a Celtics fan. In 2004, Stephon Marbury was your finals MVP, beating the Philadelphia 76ers in 6. Next, Cleveland would make an appearance in the finals, winning 2 back-to-back titles with Gilbert Arenas as their finals MVP. The Dallas Mavericks would return to the finals and beat Atlanta in 7 here, as Sean Marion was their finals MVP. The Atlanta Hawks would beat the Utah Jazz in 6 with Antonio McDyess's finals MVP. That's another really out-of-the-ballpark MVP. The following year, Antonio McDyess would lose in 7, though, to the Utah Jazz, who they had that captain. They had the man who don't need no practice, AI. He won finals MVP and got a championship in this universe. Now, the next 6 years were a battle between the Wizards and the Heat to see who could be the best team in the league. That Washington Wizards team ended up having LeBron. This 2010 year had an old man Shaq. They had Chris Paul, Zach Randolph. I mean, that team was loaded. They would win back-to-back championships and then wouldn't make it to the finals, as Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant on the Miami Heat were just too good. They ended up winning a title. Washington, they came right back and they swept the Timberwolves. LeBron was your finals MVP, and then Miami once again won another title with Curry as finals MVP. The following year, the Washington Wizards would win the Battle of the East, and they win the championship in 6 against the Utah Jazz. Now, around 2015 is when I believe LeBron started falling off. He was like an 82 overall at this point. Only 2 years after finals MVP, he fell off incredibly bad. Ginobili would win finals MVP in 6 against the Miami Heat, but Miami said, doesn't matter, we're going to win in 7 against the Minnesota Timberwolves 2 straight years in a row, and Kevin Durant's going to be our finals MVP. Russell Westbrook gets his deserved championship in OKC against the Sixers in 6 in 2019. The Trailblazers would win their first title in almost 30 years in a 7-game series against Orlando, and Jamal Murray was their finals MVP, which is a very weird result. I didn't expect Jamal Murray to be that good. And then Giannis with the Sacramento Kings wins in 6 and is your finals MVP in 2022-2021 season. Nobody beat Wilt Chamberlain's record of 100 points. Nobody beat actually any of the scoring records in this simulation. The 3-point record, though, was absolutely demolished, as Jamal Murray made 16 3-pointers in 1 game. Right behind him, though, is shockingly Andrew Wiggins, and then Kyle Lowry, Peja, and JJ Redick. Magic Johnson made 32 free throws in a single game. He has the top record right there. Nobody got close to the assist record besides Isaiah Thomas back in '86. He got 25 assists in 1 game. Also, I was was not aware that Kevin Porter had the second most assists. Is this Kevin Porter Jr.'s son, dad? Wait, whoa. I don't know if it's his dad. I don't know if they're related. I'm assuming, but I did not know Kevin Porter Jr.'s dad was an NBA legend. Then again, just because he's high on the record books doesn't mean he's a legend. Does anybody consider Scott Skiles a legend? Nobody touched the block records. The steals records weren't touched by anyone besides Allen Iverson. He got 11 in 1999. The new record for most points in a single playoff game is by Magic Johnson with 65, and he's actually tied with Ginobili. Yeah, Ginobili is the most points scored in a single playoff game. I don't understand it. Heading over for single season stats, the most points in one season is Kobe Bryant 2003. I'm not going to count Wilt Chamberlain because he wasn't a part of the simulation. The most three-pointers made in a single season is made by Kyle Lowry and not Steph Curry, which is a really weird statistic to see. I didn't think Kyle Lowry would be a better three-point shooter than Curry. Magic Johnson got second in assists. Good for him. Kevin Porter Jr., he still leads the way. Shaq broke the top 10 in most blocks in a single season right here back in 1997, and Gary Payton broke the top 5 for steal. Now we can look at the total scoring and total everything for someone's entire career, as Gilbert Arenas has scored the most points in NBA history. Behind him are players like Ginobili, shockingly, Carmelo Anthony, Shaq, Stephon Marbury, Magic Johnson, Kevin Garnett, and Michael Jordan. For this simulation, I did leave injuries on, and around, I think he was 38 or 39, Kareem got injured, and then he retired early, so he didn't get as many points as he got in real life. I believe he's at like, what, 42,000 points? But what's crazy about that statistic is nobody has even came close to the real life record, even in a video game. So I'll scroll through slowly, looking through all the players that are in this total points list. A couple of cool names, nothing like too crazy. Some things are a little bit strange, like Chris Bosh scored more total points than Kobe Bryant, who averaged 38 in a season at one point. Also, Jacob Linsanity is here because originally I wasn't going to do a video simulating. I just wanted to test something, which if you weren't in the Discord or you didn't see the community tab or you weren't in stream last night, what I did is I added a couple subscribers into 2K if they're a member or if they wanted to be in future videos, and I wanted to test how good they were to make sure they didn't destroy the league. And Jacob, he wasn't crazy. He didn't win any MVPs, any championships, but he was 36 on most points scored. So shout out to Jacob. If you do want to be in future videos and be a part of draft classes, join the Discord. I'll hook you up. But yeah, this is the top 50. I'm kind of shocked that Corey Maggette is in the top 50. Brad Daughtry, a lot of really weird names. Chris Mullin is here. Antonio McDyess has had more points than Russell Westbrook, which is shocking. Ginobili set the record for most three-pointers made in an entire career. Ginobili, he's made so many threes apparently. Paul Pierce is here. Page is here. Nash is here. Ray Allen is here. Stephen Curry, he's in 6th. He's still in the league, so he could still catch him. He could still get number 1. I'm not going to simulate to the end of everyone who's still playing today's career, because if I'm being honest, I don't really want to simulate all the way to 2050. Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell still have the 1 and 2 spot, but Shaq is here along with Kevin Garnett and Zach Randolph, which is a little bit of a shocker. Don't get me wrong, he's good, he's a great player, but being number 5 in most rebounds in an entire career is crazy. Charles Barkley, he's here at 8th. Magic Johnson has the record for most assists in a career, followed by Isaiah Thomas, Chris Paul, Baron Davis, Steve Nash, Gilbert Arenas, Tony Parker. I think Chris Paul might pass him because he's still in the league, but he also might only have 2 to 3 years left, so who knows. Other than that, I don't see anything crazy or eye-popping. Dwayne Wade being this high up is a little crazy. Derrick Rose being in the top 20, Nick Van Exel, Tracy McGrady, now those are a little strange. I talked about it earlier, Shaq was kind of the GOAT of this simulation, and he shows why, because he had the most blocks in a single career so far. But as you can see, nobody in the top 15 is still currently playing, so I don't think anyone's going to catch Shaq. Behind him, though, Kevin Garnett, David Robinson, Kareem, Hakeem, and Yao Ming. Shout out to Yao Ming. Steals leaders for their entire careers: Isaiah Thomas, Stephon Marbury, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Gary Payton, Chris Paul, Baron Davis, Scottie Pippen, Michael Williams, Ginobili, and shockingly, Carmelo Anthony is here. He could move up a couple spots. He's still in the league, so who knows. Minutes, Shaq has played the most in NBA. 50,000 minutes in the NBA. That's crazy. That's more than like my life and all your guys' life is watching. That's a lot of minutes. Actually, maybe not quite that much, but it's a lot of minutes. Points per game throughout their careers. The final one I'm going to show, the top 5, all a bunch of old dudes, but Kobe Bryant's there, and then Jordan, and then Kareem, and then Gilbert Arenas, and then Oscar. I only got to see like 5 of these guys in the simulation out of the top 16. I'm not going to go over every single team record for every single team. I'm just going to scroll through total points for every single NBA team real quick, and then maybe I'll go look at points, maybe assists. I don't know. It doesn't really change much, but some of them are pretty crazy. I mean, you saw like 67 points there by Chris Paul. I'll show rebounds and assists as well, because I feel like those are the 3 major. Like I said, I'm going very, very fast, so if you want to slow down the video and see all the stats of your favorite team, just pause the video, put it in like 0.25 speed, do whatever you want to do. But I'm quickly going through everything. Like I said, I don't want this video to be 60 minutes long. Who knows? Maybe people will watch it if it's 60 minutes long. I don't know. But either way, if you're enjoying the video and you're still here, please please like and subscribe. Would be appreciated. My NBA videos all throughout the year. Now, the Washington Wizards I do want to talk about because look how many jerseys they have retired. I mean, they got LeBron's jersey retired, Zach Randolph, and Jordan. Chris Paul will probably get his jersey retired as well. Here we go. We got the Bulls, we got the Cavs, we got the Celtics. They got a lot of numbers, but we know this. Penny Hardaway got his number retired for the Celtics. That's a strange one. Adrian Dantley is the only one for the Clippers. Wow, the Hawks only got a couple. Chris Bosh got his jersey retired for the Utah Jazz, which, by the way, out of him, Dwayne Wade and LeBron, him and Carmelo are the only players who played very long. Chris Bosh obviously is retired, and Carmelo's still in the league, so. Of course, the Kings retired Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett's number. They won them a championship. Jimmy Jamson, I don't even know who that is, but hey, he got his number retired. Look at all the Knicks. Look at all the Lakers. What's crazy is Kobe only played 4 years for the Lakers in this simulation. He still got his jersey retired. I feel like you need to play at least 5 or more seasons, but maybe that's just me. Hey, Jacob, he got his jersey retired for the Nets. That's kind of neat. Isaiah Ryder got his number retired for the Nuggets. That might be the strangest jersey retirement I've seen. Oh, Karl Malone and Scottie Pippen on the Pacers. That's very weird. Shaq on the Pistons is really weird. Dwayne Wade, Dwight Howard, and Charles Barkley all got their jersey retired for the Rockets. I'm just gonna scroll through the rest of them because I don't know if anyone really cares. Oh, look at that. Actually, I care. This one's cool. Orlando didn't win many championships, which is kind of shocking because from 92 to 2016, they had a very, very good player. Between Michael Jordan and Dirk Nowitzki, you'd think they'd win more titles than I think they only had 1 or 2 in this entire simulation. How do you have Dirk and MJ and just not win more than 2 titles? That's kind of sad. Garnett gets his jersey retired by the Grizzlies. The Hornets are the only team in the entire league to never retire a number. They are the definition of mid. Gilbert Arenas got his jersey retired. That's pretty cool. And that's all the jersey retirements. I believe that's it. That's basically the history of the simulation. There's not much more to show. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe. I'm going to end it here. More MyNBA content on the way. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, Benny Boy Little Codeine, peace out.